We're in the last week of August, and thus the last week of summer, before going back to school. Not me though, my classes start in October, and I'm really excited to go back to school. But before that, I feel like I need to make a special summer episode. So today, I'm going to take 3 sea creatures and turn them into witches. Some of them don't look too much like the animal they are based on, but they still serve perfectly for the character that I wanted them to be. And now, let's get to it. Let's start with a young witch loosely based on the Dumbo octopus. The Dumbo octopus is a deep sea creature that is nicknamed after the Disney character Dumbo. As you can see, the Dumbo octopus has these really cute little fins that look like ears. And from what I was able to find out, they actually use their fins to swim, kinda like Dumbo uses his ears to fly. So that's where the name comes from. They also sorta resemble an umbrella since they have a membrane that connects all the tentacles together. Like I mentioned before, they are deep sea creatures. They live in depths of 4,000 meters deep or perhaps even deeper, so they are used to cold water as well as absence of light. Because of this, the Dumbo octopus doesn't have an ink sac like most octopuses since they wouldn't need it in the depths. They are incredibly cute and really funny looking, especially when you see them being all shy and covering their face with tentacles. They're also pretty small compared with other octopi. They are around 20 to 30 centimeters long, so not very big at all. I'd say plushie size. They would actually make a really cute plushie. So when turning this octopus into a witch, I wanted to design this really cute girl. She's about 14 years old, smallish for her age, and her hair has 2 little flaps that mimic the Dumbo octopus ear-like fins. My first idea for her hair shape was to give her a bob haircut with this floaty, curly hair, but when I drew her with these 2 drill pigtails, I got attached to it, so she has pigtails now. I called her Marina. Marina lives in a big house/lighthouse in a seaside town where it happens to rain a lot. Her mother is a very important figure in the community, and because of that, everyone seems to have pretty big expectations about Marina. Her dad is a fisherman, but unfortunately he disappeared a few years ago. Marina is this sweet, family-oriented and pretty academic young witch. She tries to be optimistic and playful even in the face of adversity. She's kind and gentle, so much so that she's known to help out her neighbors by babysitting. It also helps that she has 2 young siblings that she ends up taking care of when their mom is too busy. She loves helping others and frequently goes out of her way to do so. To be clear, I also mean that this young witch struggles with a lot of people-pleasing tendencies, as well as self-confidence issues. She's selfless to the point of putting other needs before her own, and that sometimes can lead to problems. She's a very loyal friend, and she hopes to become a pillar of the community just like her mother. She's also pretty close with her mother. They spend a lot of time together, especially since Marina asked her mom to officially become her apprentice. She goes to the local school and she spends most of her time buried in books, studying and doing apprenticeship work on the side. Even though she doesn't think of herself as particularly strong, her mother has a lot of faith in her daughter's potential. In Marina's town it rains pretty regularly and she absolutely loves it. She loves rainy days and taking walks during said rainy days, so much so that her witch hat is waterproof and she usually wears a yellow raincoat. She often brings her siblings out to play in the rain with her. She also is very respectful of the sea, even going out of her way to stand in protest about keeping the sea clean. She loves swimming and fishing because those activities remind her of her father that she misses dearly. Her friendly demeanor helps her make lots of friends. The ones she's closest to also know of her incredible loyalty that keeps her on their side no matter what. Next up, we have characters based on sea bunnies. Sea bunnies are actually just a nickname given to this type of sea slug. They are really small, about a centimeter in length, and they are covered in this sensory fuzz that makes them look like a bunny. They also have 2 antennae that resemble bunny ears. There are a lot of color variants. My favorite is the white one because to me it's the one that looks most like a bunny. They mostly eat toxic sponges, and because of that they build up a lot of toxins in their body that can be toxic to predators. When I took this creature and turned them into a character, I had this idea of a set of twins, a boy and a girl. The problem with their design is that they read more as a bunny rather than a sea bunny. But to be fair, it's really hard to not fall into that trap since we're talking about an animal that looks like another animal. So they are dressed in a very similar way, definitely dressed for the winter time with these really cozy fluffy jackets, bunny beanies, and yellow rain boots. I ended up naming the girl Coral and the boy is named Aqua. I'm going to talk about them as a unit first, and then I'll talk about each of them individually. First of all, they are Marina's younger siblings. They are about 5 to 8 years old and they are the sweetest. They may cause a little bit of mischief every now and then, but they are overall pretty easy to deal with. They love their parents, they love their sister. In fact, they try to be protective of Marina. Keyword try, because they are just too young to see things clearly or be any kind of intimidating. Marina actually finds it really cute and amusing when they try to stand up for her. So as a unit, they are inseparable. They are always together and they are very protective of each other, although one of the twins is much more proactive than the other. They are very playful. They love going out with their sister on rainy days. They are very close with Marina and their mom. They look up to them and they try their best to monopolize their attention and can even get a little jealous if they aren't paying enough attention to the twins. They can be pretty stubborn and they also love collecting stuffed animals, especially rabbits and bunnies. Since they are so young, they haven't gotten their witch hat yet. So now let's talk about them individually. Aqua is the older twin and is very mellow, very calm. He loves hugs, he loves comfortable clothing, he's the one with the most stuffed toys, and he loves to sleep. Like I mentioned before, the twins try to be protective of each other, and Aqua really tries, but to be honest, he's not exactly a fighter, and he'd much rather sleep all day than get himself into fights and conflicts. This sweet and calm demeanor makes it so that he's pretty much the only one that can calm down Coral if she ever gets too worked up. In fact, he has an incredibly calming aura that is able to calm down others around him. If I were to describe Aqua's safe space, I'd say that it would be watching an animated movie, lying down on the couch, covered in a comfy blanket, surrounded by his family while it's raining outside. Unlike most of his family, Aqua doesn't like spending time on the sea because he easily gets seasick. Coral, on the other hand, is very active and energetic, so much so that she ends up pushing her brother to be more active as well. Her favorite thing is eating. She is a foodie in the making, though she'll pretty much eat anything. She often steals cookies from the cookie jar and stashes them in her bunny bag so that she can snack on them throughout the day. Her favorite food is the one that her dad used to make, and it usually consisted of fish that he would have caught that day. She used to be really close with her dad. She was daddy's little girl, and she wants to be just like him. When she grows up, she wants to sail the sea and become a fisherman just like her father. Unlike Aqua, she loves to go fishing. In fact, she feels the safest when she and her family go out on a beautiful sunny day to go fishing. And finally, our last character is based on a jellyfish, a purple striped jellyfish to be more specific. The purple striped jellyfish is pretty big, about a meter in diameter. It inhabits the open sea, though it may be found on the shores of Monterey in California. These jellyfish only get their purple stripes once they reach adulthood. Like most jellyfish, it's safer to stay clear of them because of its sting. The sting is not life-threatening, thankfully, but it's said to be pretty painful. When designing our jellyfish witch, I wanted her to be somewhat mysterious and elegant, so I ended up designing her as a tall, slender woman, with a mermaid dress and a witch hat that resembles a jellyfish. This hat is covering most of her face, and it has a veil on the back of it to convey a more mysterious aura. The hat is semi-transparent because I still wanted to be able to show her face, even if slightly, and because jellyfish are typically translucent as well. I named her Azure, and she is Marina and the twins' mother. She is a kind and dedicated mother, although things are starting to get more and more difficult to manage. She is a pretty powerful divination witch, and she found herself, at a young age, being a pretty important member of the community for her magical abilities and sharp sixth sense. As an important member/leader of the community, most witches come to her when they find themselves having trouble, and Azure doesn't hesitate to help out the ones in need. Still, when asking her for help, one should be careful, because if she doesn't find your problem to be that great of a deal, she'll certainly take that as an opportunity to sell charms and readings. Thankfully, her older daughter Marina seems to be softening this opportunistic side. Still, she is at her core a businesswoman that needs to keep her family afloat, especially now that her husband went missing and she's the only breadwinner. She misses her husband dearly, so much that her children often find her outside, late at night, covered in a blanket, looking out into the sea, more often than not fallen asleep. She tries her best at being a single mother of 3, but she often finds herself struggling to juggle all her responsibilities. Thankfully, she's able to count on her older daughter to help out. She tries her best to spend time with her children, often bringing them to work with her. When she has free time, she makes sure to spend it with her children doing something really fun that they'll remember forever. Going to the movies, to amusement parks, going fishing, whatever her children feel inclined to do on their special day, she'll try her best to oblige. She is a mama bear, and she is incredibly fierce when it comes to keeping her children safe and happy. If anybody were to hurt or threaten her children, they would have to face her wrath, as she's not afraid to use all her powerful magic to protect her children and punish those that threaten their well-being. And with that, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you like the video. If you want to see more stuff from me, I'm also on Instagram and Twitter at momopurin_chan and on Kara at momopurin. Thank you so much, and until next time, bye!